That one sentence can change your life. Because most people don't fail from lack of talent. They fail because they never fully believe. They hesitate, they doubt, they wait for the perfect moment that never comes. But here's the truth. Success comes to those who show up daily, act with belief, and stay consistent, especially when it's hard. In this video, you'll learn 10 powerful things you must work on every day to create unshakable confidence, long-term success, and a life that actually works out. Because you made it work out. Let's get into it. Habit 1, train your mind to expect good things. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are instructions for your brain on how to behave, what to notice, and what to create. The very first habit you must work on every single day is your mindset, specifically training your mind to expect good things. This isn't about pretending life is perfect or ignoring problems. It's about deliberately choosing to believe that, despite any challenges, good things are working their way into your life, even if you can't see them yet. Think about some of the greatest minds in history. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Before he invented the light bulb, he failed over 1,000 times. But what kept him going, despite the countless setbacks, was his unwavering belief that something good was coming, even though the results hadn't appeared yet. Edison didn't wait for success to appear and then believe in it. He believed in it first. This belief led to action, and that action ultimately made his vision a reality. What you have to understand is this: your expectations shape how you experience the world. If you expect things to go wrong, your brain will find proof of that. If you expect bad luck or setbacks, your mind will focus on those. But when you train yourself to expect good things, growth, opportunities, solutions, your perspective changes. Suddenly you start noticing the good, the positive, and the potential that others might overlook. The power of your mind to shape your experience cannot be underestimated. In every situation, you have the ability to choose your focus. If you choose to expect success even in the face of adversity, you're conditioning your mind to look for ways to make that success happen. It's not wishful thinking, it's mental engineering. When you expect good things, you start to align your actions and energy with that belief, which creates momentum toward achieving it. You can start every day with this simple practice. Before diving into the noise of emails, social media, or other distractions, take a moment to center yourself. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? And what good might come out of the challenges I face today? Visualizing success, even for just a few minutes, shifts your mindset. You can picture yourself handling the day with focus, respect, and calm, which will reinforce that positive energy. Remember the words of Alan Alda. Your assumptions are your windows on the world. Scrub them off every once in a while, or the light won't come in. By training yourself to expect good things, you're actively cleaning those windows, allowing the light of opportunity and growth to shine through. So no matter what your day holds, try this. Act as if good things are already working out for you. When you do this consistently, you not only change the way you perceive your circumstances, but also the way you respond to them. Belief becomes action, and action turns those beliefs into reality. Every day is a chance to rewrite the story in your mind. When you choose to expect the best, you open the door for it to enter. Habit 2, choose faith over fear. Every day we are faced with choices. We can either embrace the fear that holds us back, or we can choose the faith that propels us forward. In his famous teachings, Napoleon Hill encourages us to choose one mindset: faith or fear. You cannot operate from both at the same time. Fear feeds doubt, and doubt stifles action. Faith, on the other hand, fuels belief, and belief drives decisive action. It's not that fear is non-existent in those who succeed. Everyone experiences fear, including the most successful people in history. What sets them apart is not that they are fearless, but that they refuse to let fear dictate their actions. They choose faith over fear every single time. This isn't about ignoring fear. It's about acknowledging it and moving forward despite it. It's the ability to look at an uncertain future, take a deep breath, and say, I believe I can handle whatever comes my way. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Can you imagine how many times fear must have crept into his mind? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear that it wouldn't work. But his belief in his goal was stronger than any fear he faced. He didn't let fear stop him. Instead, he used his faith in himself and his mission to keep pushing forward. Choosing faith over fear is about making the decision to believe in your own potential, even when the path ahead seems unclear. When you trust in your abilities, in your dreams, and in the process, you are less likely to be held hostage by fear. You begin to see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. This shift in mindset changes everything. The people who have achieved the greatest success are not those who had no fear. They are the ones who chose to act in spite of it. Hill teaches us that it's not enough to just think positive thoughts or wish for success. Faith requires action. It's about showing up each day with the belief that everything you're doing is moving you toward your goal, no matter how small the progress seems. The more you take action, the more your faith grows, and the less influence fear has over your decisions. Let's be honest, life is full of uncertainties, and fear will always try to sneak in, especially when you're about to take a big leap. But here's the truth. Most of the things we fear never come to pass. What we fear is often far worse than the reality of what actually happens. The key to overcoming fear is to choose to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way. Start practicing this habit daily. The next time fear creeps in, whether it's a big decision or something smaller, acknowledge it, but don't let it stop you. Take the next step forward knowing that you are capable and that your faith in yourself is the force that will lead you through. The more you practice choosing faith over fear, the more natural it will become to take risks and go after what you want with confidence. Faith isn't just a thought, it's an action. It's choosing to believe over and over again that you are worthy of success, capable of overcoming challenges, and that every setback is just part of the process. Every time you push through fear, you get stronger. Faith over fear is the key to unlocking your true potential and creating the life you desire. Habit 3, embrace setbacks as growth. One of the hardest truths to accept is that failure and setbacks are part of the journey to success. But here's the secret. Setbacks aren't signs of defeat. They are opportunities for growth. Napoleon Hill stresses this idea in his teachings, encouraging us to see every obstacle, every failure, as a necessary part of our growth and transformation. In the journey of life, pain, disappointment, and failure are inevitable. But instead of letting them break you, see them as the very experiences that will build you. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, but remember that every successful person you admire has faced obstacles. Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," faced countless failures before he succeeded in creating the electric light bulb. He didn't let failure defeat him. He allowed each failure to teach him something new. When we experience setbacks, it's tempting to believe that we've reached a dead end. But setbacks often redirect us, teach us valuable lessons, and sharpen our skills. They challenge our patience, resilience, and determination. As Hill says, delays, setbacks, and even betrayals are part of the construction process in building success. The key is to view these moments not as destruction, but as construction, shaping you into the person you need to become. When you encounter an obstacle, don't give in to the temptation to quit. Instead, reflect on what you can learn from it. Ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? What strengths do I need to develop? What skills do I need to sharpen? When you adopt this mindset, you shift from being a passive observer of your life to an active creator of your destiny. Remember, some of the most successful people in history have been those who failed the most, but who chose to rise each time. Steve Jobs, after being ousted from Apple, his own company, used that setback to create Pixar and return to Apple even stronger. His return led to some of the most groundbreaking products in the tech industry. Jobs didn't see his firing as an end. He saw it as a stepping stone to something greater. As you face setbacks in your own life, remember this. Every struggle you go through is an opportunity to build your strength, your resilience, and your determination. Growth comes from pushing through challenges, not from avoiding them. And when you can embrace setbacks as growth opportunities, you'll start seeing them not as burdens, but as gifts that propel you closer to your goals. The next time you face a setback, take a moment to reflect on what's happening. Instead of letting fear or frustration take over, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Focus on how the experience is helping you evolve. Shift your perspective from one of victimhood to one of power. You are not defined by your failures, but by how you respond to them. In life, growth is not linear. There will be highs and lows, but it's in those moments of challenge that you find your true strength. When you embrace setbacks as part of your growth, you start to build the resilience you need to keep pushing forward. And with each setback you overcome, you get one step closer to achieving your dreams. Habit 4, develop a clear purpose and stick to it. Having a clear sense of purpose is the cornerstone of success. Without a purpose, it's easy to get lost or distracted by the endless opportunities and challenges that life throws at you. Napoleon Hill, in his writings, often emphasizes the importance of having a definiteness of purpose. He suggests that when you know what you want and are committed to it, your entire life aligns with that goal. Purpose isn't just a nice to have, it's a necessity for creating the life you want. Think about some of the most successful people in history. They weren't just driven by the desire to succeed for the sake of success. They had a clear, defined purpose that fueled their every action. Consider Henry Ford, who revolutionized the automobile industry with the purpose of making cars affordable for the average person. His purpose led him to overcome numerous obstacles and failures, but it was always that clear vision that kept him moving forward. Without a clear purpose, it's easy to be pulled in multiple directions, making it harder to make progress. When you have a strong purpose, you can focus your energy, time, and resources on what truly matters. It acts like a compass, guiding you through challenges, distractions, and temptations that might derail you. Having a sense of purpose does more than just keep you focused. It also gives your life meaning and direction. When things get tough, your purpose reminds you why you're pushing through. It gives you the resilience to keep going, even when the going gets tough. As Hill points out, having a clear goal provides spiritual immunity to fear and doubt. It helps you stay grounded and focused on your ultimate mission. Purpose also helps with decision-making. When faced with difficult choices, ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? If the answer is yes, then you know you're making a decision that moves you closer to your goal. If the answer is no, it might be time to reassess your priorities. But having a clear purpose isn't enough. You need to stay committed to it. The world is full of distractions that will pull you in different directions. Social media, endless opportunities, and even well-meaning advice from others can make you second-guess your decisions. However, the most successful people know the importance of staying true to their purpose, no matter the outside noise. To develop a clear purpose, take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What do you want to contribute to the world? When you identify these things, your purpose will become clearer. Once you have that purpose, write it down, say it out loud, and revisit it every day. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. This constant reinforcement strengthens your commitment and ensures that your daily actions align with your ultimate goal. Hill also highlights the power of focusing on your definiteness of purpose. All who have accomplished great things have done so by recognizing a definite purpose, a reason for living and for doing. A person without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, aimless and directionless. But when you have a goal and are relentlessly focused on it, every step you take brings you closer to achieving it. As you continue to work on your goals, keep your purpose in mind. Let it fuel your passion, guide your actions, and motivate you to keep going even when things get tough. Your purpose is the foundation of your success. It's the why behind everything you do. When you have that clarity and commitment, you will be unstoppable. Habit 6, build faith through consistent action. Faith is not something that comes easily, nor is it something that can be built overnight. It is not merely believing in the impossible, but taking consistent action toward your goal even when the results aren't immediately visible. Napoleon Hill emphasizes that faith isn't passive, it's something you build every day through actions that reinforce your belief in your purpose. Hill explains that faith is not just a feeling, it's an active force. He states, faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Whether those riches are in the form of wealth, knowledge, or personal growth, faith is the fuel that drives you to take the necessary steps to achieve your dreams. But just having faith without action is like planting a seed and then doing nothing to nurture it. It may sprout, but it will never grow to its full potential. The key to building faith is through repetition and action. Every action you take that aligns with your goal strengthens your belief. Every action you take that aligns with your goal strengthens your belief. Each small success, no matter how minor, serves as proof that you are on the right track, reinforcing your belief in your own abilities. Hill refers to this as faith being built like a structure, brick by brick. With each positive action, you lay the foundation for stronger belief, which in turn propels you to take even more confident action. Take the example of Thomas Edison. He didn't just hope for success in inventing the light bulb. He worked tirelessly, repeatedly testing different materials, methods, and ideas. Each failure didn't diminish his faith. Rather, it solidified his belief that success was inevitable. Edison once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." His faith was built through his commitment to continuous, focused action. To build faith, you have to be willing to act, even when the path ahead is unclear. Sometimes fear and doubt will try to creep in, and you may question whether it's worth the effort. But it's important to remember that faith grows stronger through experience. The more you take consistent, purposeful action, the more confident you become in your ability to succeed. Another crucial aspect of building faith is to act as if you already believe. Hill encourages people to take action in a way that reinforces their faith. You don't wait for everything to fall into place before taking action. You act as though everything is already aligned. By doing so, you align your actions with your mindset, and this harmony between belief and action accelerates progress. In practical terms, this means stepping out of your comfort zone and taking small but consistent steps toward your goal. Whether it's dedicating time every day to your work, connecting with others in your industry, or even educating yourself, these actions will continually reinforce your faith. Over time, your faith will grow to the point where you no longer have to wonder if success is possible. You'll know that it is. In the words of Hill, faith is the essential ingredient in the transformation of desire into reality. Without it, you may have the vision and the desire, but you will lack the perseverance to keep going when faced with obstacles. With faith, however, you have the resilience to weather any storm. It's this unwavering belief in the future that propels you to take decisive action, even when the outcomes are uncertain. So, if you're looking to build your faith, start small. Take one step each day, no matter how small, and trust that each step will lead you closer to your goal. Faith, like any muscle, grows stronger with use, and over time, it will become the driving force that powers your journey to success. Habit 7, burn the bridge. Eliminate Plan B. Success requires full commitment. No safety nets, no fallback plans, just unwavering dedication to your goal. This is what Napoleon Hill refers to when he talks about burning the bridge and removing Plan B. It's about making one powerful, irreversible decision to commit to your dreams and take consistent action toward achieving them. The idea is simple yet profound. When you have no option but to succeed, you will do whatever it takes to make it happen. Too often, people keep a Plan B just in case their original plan doesn't work out. While having a backup option might seem like a safety net, it actually creates doubt. It gives you a mental escape route, and as long as you have that exit, you might not give your full effort to your primary goal. Hill warns that having a backup plan is like keeping one foot in two different worlds. One where you're fully committed to your dream, and the other where you're still uncertain. To achieve greatness, you must put both feet firmly in your main goal and eliminate any distractions or alternate routes. Hill suggests that the most successful individuals are those who made a single decisive choice and then committed to it fully. When you burn the bridge, you remove the possibility of turning back. This doesn't mean abandoning your dreams when times get tough. It means creating a mentality where you don't allow failure as an option. You decide to push forward with everything you've got, and there's no looking back. A great historical example of this principle in action is the story of Hernán Cortés. When Cortés arrived in the New World, he ordered his men to burn their ships. With no way of retreating, his troops were forced to either conquer or perish. This radical decision pushed them to fight for survival and succeed. By removing the option of failure, Cortés and his men were fully committed to their mission. Their focus and determination led to the conquest of the Aztec Empire. The idea of burning the bridge isn't about recklessness. It's about making a decision with complete certainty that you are all in. Hill emphasizes the power of commitment and how it fuels momentum. When you stop entertaining the idea of retreat or failure, you create an unstoppable drive to succeed. The pressure of having no other option forces you to take your goals seriously and to act with urgency. This concept applies to every area of life. For instance, if you want to improve your health, don't just keep the option open to skip workouts or eat poorly. Eliminate the possibility of going back to unhealthy habits. Commit to a healthy lifestyle, fully. If you want to start a business, don't keep your job as a safety net. Take the leap into entrepreneurship. When you fully commit, you'll discover strengths and capabilities that you didn't know existed. Remember, success is not always about waiting for the right moment or the perfect plan. It's about taking decisive action and removing any doubt that might hold you back. If you continuously give yourself the option to fail, you'll never reach your full potential. By burning the bridge, you commit yourself to your future, and in doing so, you force yourself to take the necessary steps to turn your dreams into reality. Walt Disney said it best: "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." By burning the bridge, you stop talking about your goals and start doing everything in your power to make them happen. It's about making the decision and then following through with relentless action. The more you commit, the more you align your actions with your aspirations, and you'll quickly find that your dreams are within reach. Habit 8. Guard your mental environment. Your environment plays a critical role in shaping who you become. This isn't just about the physical space around you, but more importantly, the mental and emotional environment you allow to influence you. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, and the conversations you engage in all affect your mindset. Napoleon Hill emphasizes the importance of carefully selecting your mental environment, because what you expose yourself to determines how you think, feel, and act. Think of your mind as a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt, negativity, and fear, those will be the weeds that grow. However, if you plant seeds of faith, positivity, and growth, that's what will flourish. Just like any garden needs constant attention and care, your mind requires careful curation. The people you spend time with directly impact the way you view the world and your potential. If you are constantly around individuals who doubt your dreams, focus on problems instead of solutions, or spread negativity, it will be harder for you to believe in your own success. On the other hand, aligning yourself with people who share your values, challenge you to grow, and inspire you to be your best can elevate your mindset and performance. These are the individuals who mirror your fire, as Hill puts it. They multiply your energy rather than draining it. It's crucial to surround yourself with those who encourage your growth and remind you of your potential, not people who cast doubt on your abilities. Jim Rohn's quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," is a reminder that we are influenced by those around us more than we might realize. If you find yourself constantly surrounded by negative, small-minded individuals, it's time to make a change. The energy of those closest to you will rub off on you, so make sure you're spending time with people who raise you up. This doesn't just apply to personal relationships, it extends to the media you consume as well. What you read, watch, and listen to influences your thoughts. If you're constantly consuming negative news, toxic social media content, or pessimistic conversations, it's easy to become overwhelmed with fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Hill advises you to guard your mental environment by selectively consuming content that nurtures your growth and success. Feed your mind with material that expands your thinking, motivates you, and fuels your ambition. This habit is not about isolating yourself or rejecting people who don't agree with your vision. Instead, it's about being intentional with who and what you allow into your mental space. Choose to spend time with individuals who are aligned with your goals, who push you to be better, and who inspire you to take action. Additionally, be mindful of the content you consume, as it can either serve as fertilizer for your dreams or as poison for your progress. By carefully curating your environment, you create a mental space where growth and success are inevitable. Guarding your mental environment is a constant practice. It requires you to be aware of the influences around you and take intentional steps to protect your mindset. Whether it's choosing to distance yourself from negative people, limiting your exposure to harmful media, or intentionally seeking out positive and empowering content, this habit sets the foundation for your success. Remember, the people around you and the information you consume are like the water and sunlight for your garden of success. Nurture it well, and you'll see your dreams grow and flourish. Habit 9. Belief requires motion, not just mindset. Belief alone isn't enough to achieve success. We've all heard the phrase, believe in yourself, but belief without action is like a car without fuel. It's not going anywhere. Napoleon Hill teaches us that belief is powerful, but it must be paired with consistent action. The real transformation happens when you act as if you already believe in your success, regardless of external circumstances. When you believe that something is possible, you don't wait for the perfect moment or for all the signs to line up. You act. You move as though your goals are already within reach. And through this motion, you reinforce and strengthen your belief. It's a cycle. Your belief drives you to take action, and your actions, in turn, reinforce your belief. This is why belief requires motion. It's the fuel that propels you forward and makes your vision a reality. Too often we think belief is a passive process. We wait for motivation to strike, for a moment of clarity, or for external validation before we take action. But true belief isn't about waiting. It's about stepping forward even when you don't have all the answers. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that your efforts will compound over time. You need to act as if you already have what you desire. When you do, you start to attract the opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your vision. One of the most powerful quotes that captures this concept is by Tony Robbins. The path to success is to take massive, determined action. The key here is massive and determined action. It's not about taking small, hesitant steps. It's about committing fully to the belief that your success is inevitable, and then moving with unwavering confidence toward that success. This doesn't mean you're always going to feel ready or certain. It's about acting anyway. It's about moving forward, even if you're unsure of the next step. Belief requires action because it's easy to talk about what you want, but it's only when you take the first step that you start to see progress. Each action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. And as you take more steps, your belief becomes stronger because you can see that your actions are leading you toward your desired outcome. When you're acting in alignment with your beliefs, you no longer need external proof. The results start to speak for themselves. The story of Thomas Edison perfectly illustrates this. Edison believed in his ideas so strongly that he didn't wait for validation or approval before moving forward. He kept working even through countless failures because he believed in his ultimate success. It was his consistent action that led to the invention of the light bulb, and his belief was made stronger by every experiment, every setback, and every small victory along the way. This is the mindset you need to adopt. Your belief isn't confirmed by others. It's confirmed by you through your actions. It's not enough to sit back and hope things will fall into place. You must show up every day and act like the person who has already achieved what you desire. Even when it feels difficult, even when things aren't perfect, You need to keep moving forward. The act of doing something, no matter how small, shifts your perspective and brings your dreams one step closer to reality. As you take consistent action, you'll notice your belief will grow stronger. Your confidence will increase. The more you act, the more the world will start to mirror your belief, and the more your actions will prove to you that success is not just possible, it's inevitable. So remember, belief isn't just about thinking positively or visualizing your success. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that each step brings you closer to your vision. When you act as if everything is working out, you're not just creating your success, you're reinforcing the belief that it's already on its way. Habit 10. Do more than you're paid for, quietly, consistently. In a world that thrives on instant recognition and rewards, one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is to exceed expectations in silence, without seeking immediate praise or recognition. Napoleon Hill emphasizes the importance of doing more than you're paid for, quietly, consistently, without the need for applause. This habit, practiced consistently, is the foundation of long-term success and true greatness. Doing more than you're paid for means going beyond what's asked of you, whether at work, in personal relationships, or in your own personal growth. It's about showing up every day and giving your best effort, not for the reward, but because it's the right thing to do. This mindset shifts you from being someone who is just trying to get by to someone who is always striving for excellence, regardless of the circumstances. Imagine you're working on a project and you finish your task early. Instead of waiting for more instructions, you take the initiative and look for ways to improve the process or help your colleagues. You might not get extra recognition for it right away, but this act sets you apart from the rest. It's not about the praise you receive in the moment. It's about the long-term impact of consistently going above and beyond. This habit is closely tied to the idea of doing the work without the need for acknowledgement. Like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Andrew Carnegie, who never waited for external validation before pushing ahead with their ideas and visions, you must be willing to put in the work, even when no one is watching. Ford and Edison didn't achieve greatness by waiting for applause. They kept working relentlessly until their efforts paid off. Their willingness to exceed expectations, to do more than anyone thought was necessary, laid the groundwork for their success. In everyday life, doing more than you're paid for might look like staying an extra hour at work to finish a task, offering help to a friend when it's inconvenient, or investing time in self-improvement even when you're already busy. These actions build momentum. When you consistently go the extra mile, it doesn't just build your reputation, it builds your character. People notice, even if it isn't immediately acknowledged. And over time, this habit will put you on the path to greater opportunities, rewards, and success, not because you're chasing recognition, but because you've demonstrated the value you bring to the table through consistent effort. Consistency is key. This isn't about big, grand gestures. It's the small, everyday actions that, when compounded over time, create exceptional results. It's about the quiet, consistent discipline that gets you closer to your goals, day after day, without needing anyone else to validate your work. Robert Collier's quote says it best: "Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out." When you make this habit a part of your daily routine, you become a person who doesn't just do what's required, but does what's necessary to get to the next level. Hill argues that those who consistently go above and beyond are the ones who create a lasting legacy. The results of this habit aren't always visible in the short term, but over time, they accumulate and compound, leading to success that's built on a solid foundation of hard work, discipline, and excellence. The true measure of success lies not in what others see, but in what you do when no one is watching. Are you willing to give more than what's expected, even if there's no immediate payoff? That quiet, consistent effort is the true key to greatness. Every small act of going beyond the expected builds the person you're becoming and the success you're destined to achieve. So commit to the habit of doing more than you're paid for, day in and day out. Be patient, Stay focused and remember that success is not just about what you do when people are watching. It's about the quiet, consistent efforts that build the foundation for your future. We've reached the end of the video, and now it's time for you to take action. Change starts with a decision. Comment below if you're ready to change your life, no matter how tough the journey may be. I'll read every single one of your comments and feature one of the most inspiring ones right here on our channel. If you're looking for a daily boost of real, unfiltered motivation, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Let's take this journey together.